Most producers want their mixes to sound wider, but a lot of stereo wideners actually make your mix weaker. And when your track isn't heard in perfect stereo, like on phones or in clubs or just standing off center, parts of your mix can lose volume, punch, or just sound hollow. So put on some headphones, because we're going to take a listen. Now this sound is completely mono. And now it's wide. And if I put a mono plugin after it and check it whether it's on or off, the effect just disappears cleanly. No artifacts, no volume drops. Now you can download this right away below, and later in the video, I'll show you exactly how the rack works, so you can even build it yourself if you want. But before we get into that, you need to understand why mono compatibility actually matters. Here's the thing, your music isn't always heard in perfect stereo. In clubs, you're rarely standing exactly in the middle of the speakers, and phones or laptops often behave closer to mono than true stereo. But even in perfect stereo, pushing width too far can still cause problems. A lot of wideners make things sound bigger by pulling energy out of the center and pushing it out to the sides. Now that can leave you with a hollow middle, or what's called a phantom center. And some stereo effects also change character when they fold down to mono. Let me show you what I mean. Right, now this percussion sounds nice and wide. But when I hit mono, you can hear it loses volume, it gets darker, it softens the punch, and it adds a messy kind of slap delay sound. Whereas on mine, when I hit mono, still strong. So some wideners might sound impressive in stereo, but they might actually make your mix weaker when it's played in the real world. There is another really important thing about stereo width as well. Width only works because of contrast. If everything in your mix is wide, then nothing actually feels wide. So check this out. Right now, everything here is mono. And if I use Easy Stereo to make the lead wide, it suddenly feels huge because everything around it is centered. But if I start widening other things like the bass and this pad as well too, you can feel the lead doesn't feel quite as wide anymore. Now that's because stereo width only works through contrast. If everything is wide, then nothing actually feels wide. So use these things sparingly and intentionally. And remember, if you want to try Easy Stereo yourself, there's a free download link in the description. Now, in general, I usually recommend getting most of your stereo width in a mix from more natural things first, like panning, reverbs, delays, or layering different sounds. Those approaches usually feel more realistic and musical. Then only introduce artificial widening if needed. Because artificial widening, like this, is really just a tool for when you want something to feel wider but stay dry, or when you want a more exaggerated stereo effect. It can work great on percussion like this, on bass, synths and pads, and even vocals.
I just need a reason. I just need a reason.
But many traditional sounds like piano especially can start sounding pretty unnatural if you push this too far. So this definitely isn't something you want to put on every channel. It's just a quick tool for when you want to add width without making things softer or wetter. And that's exactly why I built Easy Stereo. It's a simple Ableton rack that adds stereo width quickly, even to completely mono sounds. And it's designed so the whole effect disappears cleanly when your mix is heard in mono. That means you can get the sense of width without hollowing out the center of your mix or damaging your volume balance, punch, and tone. So the idea is really simple. You just drop it onto a track, turn up this width control, and it spreads the sound out to the sides while keeping the low end centered. And importantly, when I hit mono, the effect basically disappears instead of creating weird artifacts, delays, or volume drops, unlike the bad stereo example we heard earlier. There's also a delay control at the bottom that lets you dial in the vibe exactly the way you want. You might find longer ones sound pretty good on things like vocals.
I just need a reason.
But on short, sharp transients like hi-hats, that might sound a little echoey and flammy like this. So just tighten up the speed until it feels right for you. Now, if you're curious what's happening under the hood, it's actually pretty simple. The rack splits the signal into a dry path and a wet path. And on this wet path, the sound is first summed to mono, so both sides start from the same place. Then it runs through a very short adjustable delay with the polarity flipped on one side. That makes it sound extremely wide in stereo, but when the signal is folded down to mono, the effect cancels itself out and disappears cleanly. And there's also a filter in there, so nothing below 150 Hz gets widened, which keeps the bass and sub nice and solid in the center. So yeah, you get the sense of width without damaging the center of your mix, and that's really the whole idea behind Easy Stereo. So if you'd like to download it, there's a link in the description and the pinned comment below. Just drop it on one of your tracks, turn up the width control, and you'll instantly get stereo width that still behaves properly when you hear your song in mono. This is actually a simplified version of a rack I used to sell a while ago, but I decided to release a streamlined version for free so anyone can use it. It's quick, it's simple, and it uses only Ableton stock devices. So download it, try it out on a few different sounds, and let me know what you think. I'd be curious to hear what you end up using it on. Do you like it more on percussion, synths, vocals, or something else? And if finishing release-ready tracks fast and often is your goal, make sure you subscribe because that's exactly what this channel is all about. I'm Bassclef, and I'll see you in the next one.